Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the official day one of High Point Market. My name is Neil McKenzie. I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing here at Universal. And welcome to Universal. You are in the Learning Center. We're hosting a number of educational and informative events here throughout Market. We do record all of these. So if you happen to sign up for one and you miss it, if you registered for one, the good news is we're going to email all of them to you. And that'll be about 2 weeks after Market. So just give us a little time to edit that down. Our building is massive, and I have to say a few things to pay for this. So the building is massive. We have a lot of new things happening here. We have a new introduction with Modern, which is a major business part of Universal, and that is on floor 3. We have some great in-stock looks on floor 2, and on floor 1, you have the opportunity to kind of get exposed to our special order upholstery program. We have a new custom dining chair program that we're working on. And if you want to see anything afterwards, please do so. Just check in at the front desk. They'll get you registered. And then everything in the showroom is tagged, and you can actually get a scanner, scan everything that you love. And when you check out, just give that scanner back, and you'll get an email with everything that you scan. So it's a little easier than trying to remember a picture from where. So I'm going to hand it over to Patty Carpenter, who's going to talk about this DAA initiative and with High Point Market. And I'll let Patty just say a few words. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Hey, I am thrilled to see all of you in this room. This is so exciting. You all are in for a fabulous panel. I'm going to read a little bit because I don't want to forget, but this is approximately a minute and a half. So I'm going to do the New York real fast read. First of all, I'd love to thank all of you just for being here. We'd love to thank Universal for hosting us. But this is really about my thanking you for the support of the DAA. And we realized that on the invitation, we didn't really talk about the fact that this was a DAA initiative. And I don't know if all of you are familiar with that, but we are the Diversity Advocacy Alliance of the High Point Market Authority. And we really are committed to advancing, improving, and supporting diversity here at Market, and then by extension throughout our entire creative community. That's really why we're here today, to help talk about how you can grow and build and sustain your businesses and relationships here at Market. So I just wanted to let you know that this is the beginning of something very exciting that our Education and Engagement Committee is doing. Ashley is going to talk more about that at the end, so stay tuned for that. And with that, I'm going to introduce you to the force of nature that is Ashley Ross, who's on our committee, and she's going to and have this wonderful panel and lead it. Thanks.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Neil. So Neil mentioned something about they have to have some time to edit. I would like you to edit every time I clear my throat up here so that it seems seamless. I've been quiet all morning to give you the best that I have today, so bear with me. I'm going to introduce these amazing panelists, and you guys are so in for an amazing talk. From meeting the needs of the design community with her industry-leading trade program to building a multi-million-dollar business, from designer to e-commerce powerhouse, please help me in welcoming Kathy Klo. Sought after by marketing teams around a variety of industries, Ariane Belazar understands business, the business of design. That just makes her so very aspirational. If you have never heard her speak, you are in for a treat.
No pressure.
You're in for a treat, I promise you. As the CEO of Ariane Belazar Interior, she prioritizes ROI, not just for her business, but for every single project. This is going to be good. Joanna Saltz is an award-winning editorial designer for Delish and House Beautiful, where she oversees all food and home content for both brands. Saltz has held editorial positions at Food Network Magazine, 17 in the Knot. Thank you. I used that when I got married. And she has authored 6 books on entertaining and style, if you can't tell by her outfit today. So please help me in welcoming Ariane and Joanna Saltz. In true millennial form, I got my questions on my iPad instead of like cue cards. So we're going to jump into this. I've done a lot of deep diving on all three of these women because I wanted to know like how they speak, the pace, if they were going to deep dive into things, and I think that they are. So I have questions for all of them, and then questions for specific parts of their business and all that. So we're going to start with a softball with question for everyone. And what are your goals for attending this market?
My goal was to not get wet today, to not get wet in the rain, to make it on time. And I've been successful.
Okay.
But really and truly, my goal for market from a business perspective was to always keep my eyes open for the treasures and gems that are out here and to solidify and strengthen the relationships that I make at market. That's something that you have to create the space for and be intentional about. If you don't, you'll miss it. You'll kind of do hi bye to a lot of people. And I think market is a really good balance of work and play. And that's what makes it so special.
Okay, let me add to this question and for everybody. How have your goals for this market changed from your very first market?
I mean, I'll jump in and say my goal for every market is connectivity. You know, I have great team members, Carisha Swanson sitting up here, who's paying attention to all of the product that we see and all of the new amazing pieces that are hitting the universe. But for me, it's about I use this as sort of my reset, like a touchstone reset, where I get to really have FaceTime with people, get to shake hands. And I have to say, that really hasn't changed from the first time I came down here. I was the new editorial director.
Hello.
I know it's not that good. I know. Just don't shut me off in the middle. If I'm getting boring, just get the big hook. But I'm just kidding. No, so it really hasn't changed. That is what I feel here. It's an electricity. It's you know, and even just walking to the ladies' room, I shook hands and hugged 4 people. That's what this place is about for me. It makes me feel really well connected to this industry. And I, you know, listen, full disclosure, you know, I leave my 3 kids at home and I'm like, do I have to go? And then the minute I set foot in this town, I'm like, I feel it. So that's it.
What about you?
Amazing. So I was going to say all of the above is true. I'm here. So I've been coming, I was just doing the math quickly. I've been coming here for now 2 decades. So since 2004, which
17.
is wild. Yeah. So, right. Which means I started coming when I was like 4 years old. No, yeah. So like, yeah, So when I was coming here, I actually was on the vendor side. So I was an exhibitor here for one of our vendors here. So completely different experience now that I'm here on the buying side. And so we have sort of 3 different divisions within KKH. We have a trade program where we sell to other interior designers, just like you guys. And we also do our own interior design. And we also have our buyers here, in which we have our own private label program. And so we have really kind of 3 unique initiatives at every sort of vendor meeting. And we try to, and my job is to honestly just make sure everybody's awake, having fun, eating, and getting what they need. Like, are you seeing cool products? Like, are we getting what we need from the vendor relationships? And honestly, it's like, I run into friends all the time. I've met employees that we've hired for 2 years that I've never met. And I'm like, oh my God, you're a real human. So, it's been really, really exciting to just like see people in person and, you know, yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay. So I'll keep it here with you for a second. As somebody who has attended High Points several times, what's the draw that keeps you coming back?
The draw, I mean, it has to be the product, right? Like, let's be honest, like this, just walking into Universal, we're like, these showrooms look amazing. And they bring it every year, right? It's like, wait, I don't understand. Like, how do they just have all this amazing product all the time? So, I mean, it's definitely the people, the vibrancy, the energy, you feel it, right? Like you feel it when you see your friends. Yeah.
I gotta say though too. Oh, sorry. Is this called creative interruption, right? I think that's what somebody called it.
Do it.
Roll
I
with
expect
it.
you too.
Wait, I mean, I think you have the panel of that. We're all going to be like jumping on each other.
It's like double dutch.
Yeah, exactly.
That was brilliant, though.
You're
Waited
it.
for the pause.
You're
and it's
it.
excellent.
Exactly. But I was going to say, I have to give a shout out to the showrooms. I mean, even I was saying this to Neil before we sat down here, that the showrooms have done, that these companies have done such a beautiful job of making these places gathering spaces, right? I mean, it's particularly Universal too. Like, you come here to see the product, but that it's made to stay, to linger, to talk, to, to meet friends and hang out. And it lends such a warmth to what could be a really, sort of cold business transactional kind of place. And I think they've all done such a good job to help soften that. So kudos to you all.
Absolutely.
So let me pause. Let me pause and say this. Let me level set for you guys, because Joanna sent me her bio, and in the middle of it said something like she is the captain of chaos, and I purposely left it out. I was like, if I leave it out, maybe she'll be on her best behavior.
She's doing great. She's doing great. I just want to add to it, though. One of the big things for me, and the reason why it's worth the investment, because let me just tell y'all, it's not easy to get here from Louisiana. Anybody from Louisiana in the house? Oh! y'all so quiet. That's not like us. It's not easy to get here from Louisiana. And when we get here, it's actually quite costly to stay in a place that feels like home, let's just say. I'm going to be nice when I say that. So for me, I come to market because the product becomes real to me at market. I can see it in a lifestyle setting. I'm from a small market that does not have a fabulous design center. And I am the salesperson for Universal and Arteriors and anyone else who's represented here. I'm a salesperson for you too, girl. So if I know the product and have an opportunity to see, touch, feel, and experience it, that's the value for me. And also, anybody who's ever walked the floor with me knows I'm also asking a million questions, because I'm like, yes, it's a chair, but tell me about it. What's going on with it? Who made it? What's so special about it? Why am I doing that? One, it's what I love about design. But number two, it helps me sell the product. It romances the product for me and for the client. I become inspired by it, convinced it's the right one. And then when I find out how much said chair costs and I have to gulp because I got to put my markup on top of that, I am so confident it's the right choice because I came and I saw it in person. And I think that's something that, again, just like we said, relationships are important. And if you miss it, you high by, blow by. There's a lot of ground to cover at market, but don't miss the opportunity to actually talk to the people who developed the product. This is your chance to actually meet the person who came up with the concept, who did the prototype, the marketing team that came up with all of the promotionals that you're using to provide to your clients. You have them in a room and they want to talk to you. So that is the value of market. And that's why when you come, you have to be really strategic about how you spend your time to get the most value from it.
So let's keep it there for a second, because I'm canvassing the room and there are a lot of interior designers in this space. So specifically for you, this is going to be a hot topic, right? But who do you walk market with? And because I really want you to talk about diversifying who you walk market with, because that's a big thing. Some of us, go in these larger crowds where some of us are shy to break out and network. But so speak a little bit about that.
So I have been to many markets over the past several years, and almost every time I've come, I've been by myself as far as the representation for my company. And it's okay, Kathy. Kathy, okay, I'm a part of Kathy's team today. You can walk with her. And it's okay. One, because I know I am very strategic about how I do market. It's very expensive to get here, so I have not been able to afford to bring my team. And I also know that I have trained my eye to know what I'm looking at and looking for. And I need to mentor my team so that they know when they come how to do market, right? So I come by myself. I walk most of market by myself because I'm open to the relation. I'm open to Kathy saying, come have coffee with me, right? If I have an entourage and I want to go have coffee with Kathy and they don't, then we split, or then they got to come and be awkwardly sitting while Kathy and I have coffee. So I'm open to that. I'm open to the relationships with people like Carisha and Joe so that we can have our conversations and dialogue and talk about the fun projects that are coming up. And I think that that's something to think about. Yes, it is work and play, but you also have to think about how to be strategic with your playtime, right? And to say that walking a market by yourself can be productive is true because it gives you the time to, for me, if I'm going in Market Square, I walk very purposefully up and down every aisle, same route, because I don't want to miss anything because things move around. And I don't want to be able to walk quickly past the things that I don't need or I don't want, or stop and linger on the things that I do. So, I think I'm glad you asked that question because I don't want people to think that you have to come to market and be with someone. I think that you can be very successful on your own and then leave the space to make the relationships. There's lots of socializing that you can do before, after, in the middle, between, whatever. But just make sure that you are a good steward of the most precious resource you have while you're here, which is time. Oh, y'all are so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I told y'all she plays small sometimes.
Listen.
She plays small sometimes. So, Kathy, everyone is excited to hear like from the e-commerce giant side from you, but I want to hear when you were just a designer, what relationships were most important to you at Market as you were building this brand?
Oh my gosh, I had so much help. Let's see. So some of you guys may purchase from them, but I used to work for a company called Interlude Home. And I was a product designer for them. And so I would, during those times, I would, like you, like like make sure that I saw everything, what was new, what were the new fabrics. And I was really looking for trends and materials. I think along the way, I mean, honestly, from an e-com perspective, you guys know this, like it hasn't been so easy from the perspective of like people were like, no, we don't really want to sell an e-com. Like that's no, like not interested, not doing that. And so I would say with a lot of persistence, a lot of begging, I think over time people were like, fine, it's you again. Like, oh, fine, maybe we'll open an account with you. And I'm so honestly so grateful and lucky to a lot of the accounts that sort of like said yes to us in the earlier days. Yeah, and today we have like, I don't know, like 450 brands we work with. Universal is like one of our top, I would say top 25 brands. And they're just incredible humans. Like we love working with great artisans, great business folks, and feel really, really lucky that I've been shepherded along the way. And we honestly, we can't do what we are doing today without these incredible brand partnerships. So feel really, really lucky.
Yeah, I love that you transitioned this question into the partnerships and the people, right? Because that's what this panel.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have incredible product. I work with people we love. That's the primary.
Yeah. So I want to take this down here to my captain of chaos. Joe, every time this is actually my first time speaking to you, like in this setting, but every time I see you, you are always in a mix of people, and people just seem to absolutely love you, right? And I don't think it's just because you.
We love you, Joe.
I'm an ugly crier. I'm just gonna say it.
So sorry. I don't think it is your role. Like I don't see like this opportunist thing around you. I think it is you, like the human behind you. But there is this position that you have with House Beautiful where your role and your goals for Market are going to be very different from Ariane's as a designer, right? And so what does that look like from the House Beautiful side? Like we're all here for relationships and everybody's been like, okay, we need our elevator pitch. Like, so what does that look like for you? Are people coming and walking up to you, handing you their mixtape in a sense?
Oh my gosh.
I'm so making a mixtape. I'm so making a mixtape.
If you had a mixtape, I would immediately publish you.
It's happening. It's happening.
No, I am Phil Collins. If it had Phil Collins on it, I'm just kidding. Wham. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Tell me more.
I'm not kidding, but also, no, I'm just listening to the answers that they were giving, and I so much of it speaks to what brings us here to, it's a complicated answer, but not really, in that House Beautiful has always been about showcasing and highlighting new talent. And whether that's new talent to the broad world or new talent to a designer who just entered the industry, this brand's been around for 127 years, and that's not an exaggeration. And this is the brand that first published Frank Lloyd Wright. This brand has been around for forever. So, we really use these opportunities to get to know people we didn't know. And I always hesitate to say new because a lot of the designers we meet have been doing this for a really long time. I mean, a few years ago, we ran someone on the cover who was in her 60s, had been designing for decades. She had never been published and had never been in House, certainly not in House Beautiful, had never been published, and she was on the cover. That is something that's really meaningful to me, to be able to highlight designers that haven't been highlighted. There's so many. And so coming to High Point, I really do get to meet so many new people. I'll also say too, and I can't remember who said this, but the other thing that we really love to find out is what designers are responding to here at High Point. We see the things that we love, that we think are going to do well editorially, whether it's digitally or in print. And certain things do really well digitally that won't look as good in print, and vice versa. But we want to know what designers are using. Like, what are the pieces that you actually see your homeowners getting excited about? What are the things that homeowners are looking for that you're desperately out in the market trying to figure out? How, I was just saying to Kathy right before this, design is a beautiful solution to a problem, right? That's what you all are doing as designers, is you're taking homeowners' problems and solving it with design. And so we're always looking for, what are the answers? What are the answers that you're here gathering at market? So it's a little bit of both. I try to keep all my antennas up and open to receive, which is why you probably see me surrounded by so many people, because I'm just like, hi. I always have
That's
this
really
creepy plastered face on. But I mean it. It's authentic, because I'm always just so excited to get to meet people and to hear, sort of how people are responding out there.
But then House Beautiful has these little magical gems that you do throughout the year that's, I think, not bigger, but broader than the magazine, right? In my opinion. Like Next Wave and the show house that you all have right now, who is featuring all women, right? I'm pretty sure this timeline is is tight and on track. It's on time for the first time.
Amazing.
No shade
Go
to the
Carisha.
men in the room. So sorry. So how can designers, when they see Carisha, if you guys don't know Carisha, just listen in a room, you hear this laugh,
Yes.
it's Carisha. Carisha, Joe, like, how can designers stand out to you all for consideration to those gems that you guys house under House Beautiful?
I mean, I'm going to say something that I hope this doesn't make me unpopular, but I will say, I think it's really important. I think it's important to photograph your projects. I really think it's important to get the work that you're doing in a place that is easy for editorial, whether House Beautiful and otherwise, editorial to digest. There are so many good, young, up and coming photographers. There are great art schools all across the country that have, burgeoning photographers on their rosters that are looking to do work and to partner with people. A lot of the photographers we work with are assistants to big photographers who are looking to make their big break. And so I would say, get your stuff photographed. You need it for Instagram. You need it for your social platforms. You need it for your own internal marketing. And then show it to us. Give us your Instagram handle. Message me on Instagram. Oh my gosh, message me on Instagram. Everybody's about to do that. And I'm like, about to be.
Please take out your
Message
phones.
Carisha on Instagram. She doesn't really go on there, but
Carisha's phone. Ding, 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 ding.
no, but I actually do really mean that. When I meet people at market, I actually do end up following you. And I really do. And that is like, when we are looking at Next Wave, that's what we're looking at. Next Wave is our list of our annual list. It's 25 years. This is our 25th anniversary of Next Wave. And that is where we start. We start with your Instagram. We look and see, what is your vibe? We try to find a nice geographical diversity. We try to find an aesthetic diversity. Like, we really try, and we use your Instagram as our starting point. Does this person use color? Is this person more of a minimalist? Does this person tend to err on small spaces, big spaces, outdoor spaces? And so it starts there. But even just exchanging your handle with us when you are seeing us in passing, that's where it begins. And the photography that appears on that handle, that's what represents you. And I feel, sometimes I feel stressed about saying that. I know I'm going on long, I'm sorry, but I feel stressed about saying that because I know it's an expense. and not everybody can afford to do that. Certainly not everybody has homeowners who want their spaces photographed. But I think as much as you can capture beautifully, the work that you're doing, you certainly owe it to the work that you're doing to create a space where it looks as beautiful as it possibly can.
So let me tell you, I'm going to stand up and say this because I don't iron a lot, but I did iron these pleats. I want y'all to see them because I took my time on them today.
I love the pleats.
Oh,
I love the shoes.
thank you. Thank you.
Those are
But the pleat, it's by the pleats. It's about the pleats.
okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, y'all know millennials don't iron. So, but Joe said something that I think some of the seasoned designers in here, Patty, y'all, she's not a designer, but I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story real fast. She's probably like, did she just say Instagram? Because Patty and I were in Paris for Maison, and Patty was like trying to get to know me. She said, where's your business coming from? I said, well, 80% of it is coming from Instagram. She was like, Instagram? So I love that you said that because there's another editor that said, when you send me an email, it feels like work. When you send me a DM with just like a picture where I can look at, it does not feel like work and I respond to it quicker. So everybody take that note to get your Instagrams together because
I'll just say too, I mean, we have 3 stories right now on housebeautiful.com where 80% of the traffic to those stories are coming from Instagram.
Yeah.
So like this is a highly engaged audience that is clicking out. It used to be with Instagram, no one left the platform. You stayed there, you did your, you liked, you shared, whatever. People are leaving the platform. So make sure your bio is in there, make sure your link is in there, make sure all of this stuff is updated. People are leaving the platform from Instagram. It's driving legitimate traffic. And I'm not talking small numbers. I'm talking of hundreds of thousands of clicks. So really important that, but that's a really beautifully stated way to think.
I have 2 clients in the audience right now that found me through Instagram. Yeah. Kathy, we're going to take it back to a little bit of business, right? Because we're having a lot of fun. I am. When you are sourcing, right, and you mentioned relationships earlier, I wanted you to talk about maybe some red flags where you immediately see, like, this is not a vendor I will probably have a long-term relationship with.
Ooh, a long-term relationship with. Somebody once said to me that your business and your ambitions, you do not grow. Your business does not grow to your state of your ambitions, if you will. Your business actually falls to the level of your systems. And so just think about that for a second.
That's a tweetable.
Say it again. Say it again.
Or Xable. What do we say now?
Xable. That's Xable.
Look
So,
directly into that
Your
camera and say
business
that
does
again.
not grow to the ambitions that you set for it. It falls to the systems that you have. And your systems is really everything.
That stings so hard. It really, it's like,
But it's
that is
everything, right? And I will say that we have struggled with our own systems too, but almost at every break point, and you can say, is it at 100,000? Is it at 1 million? Is it at 10 million? Is it 100 million? Every point, there's a break point in which you're like, oh, I've got to rebuild everything from the ground up. And it's going to be so painful because I just moved in, but I need a new foundation. And so your systems are literally everything. It's your technology systems. If you send me your inventory in a PDF, we're going to be like, why? Wait, what is this? What is this? If you send me any invoices that I can't open up in Excel, there's going to be a problem. And so it's technology. For sure. It's like we love vendors that do EDI. Thank you, Universal. We also love vendors that send us and communicate with us really quickly. If I have to call you 12 times to ask you why your back order dates are incorrect, that's going to be really hard because our customers call us. And when our customers call us, we really, really upset them when we can't they need answers. You all know when you have to call a vendor 12 times, you're like, we can't do this. We have to break up. Like there's somebody else that has this same product and we're gonna have to break up.
And
And
not,
so
not
it's
a
all
not a
of that.
Jada will breakup, a for real breakup. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
ain't faking it either. Everybody gonna know we not
know
together.
that. You
No.
know, it is so painful. And like, so our entire business is predicated on our vendor relationships. And please, please, please just pick up the phone, try to pick up the phone and or respond to an email, or I will slide in your DMs. Apparently, according to you, I will just DM you, be like, where's our order? But so it's your people, it's your process, it's everything. It's your logistics process, it's how you ship. It's literally every little thing matters because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so focus on your systems.
I'm going to jump in on top of that though, and also say, and I think you've always done a beautiful job of highlighting the smaller people too, the smaller makers and vendors. I'll also say too, that is the beautiful thing about this market. Go discover, go find the people who are just getting started, who are, you know, the smaller, the little booths in the basements, you know. We found some incredible people. I'm giving a shout out to Fiberworks. They go find Fiberworks.
Amazing.
Head to toe, my whole house is
Oh,
Fiberworks.
incredible.
Everything in
Everybody
my
go to
home.
Fiberworks. They're located in Market Square,
Square.
on the first
They
floor
do
in
custom,
Salon,
custom
across from Indala
custom
Trading.
rugs.
Okay.
They're amazing.
Well
They're
priced.
very well priced.
Well
They're
priced.
amazing, but they were, correct me if I'm wrong, a stumble upon. We just like, Carisha was just down there in the depths looking and saw them and met them and made a great, you know, like just like doing what we do, which is like digging through.
I know.
So and they are a smaller company that has a great system, to your point, but they all start somewhere, right? And so, you know, give those smaller brands a chance. I wish I had more time to do that discovery. I never leave enough time to go and
The amount of go anywhere vans that are about to be headed from here to Fiberworks are going to be impressive.
tell
Okay.
them House Beautiful sent you. Please.
Affiliate code
Affiliate
House
code,
Beautiful
right. Oh yeah.
2023.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Track your sales because you are a part of their sales team at this point.
So when the Diversity Advocacy Alliance decided to do this, right, we were doing this as a launch pad for something that I'll talk to you about when we wrap this up, right? But we were very specific about who we were going to have on this panel because we wanted people who were not going to gatekeep information. We wanted people who had diversity within our industry because one thing you don't notice when coming to market is that there are so many different facets to our industry. When you are just, you know, in the design firm, that's all you're thinking about is design, product, clients, right? But now you have publications, you have your editors, you have your marketing folks here. You got the president of High Point Market, Tammy back there.
Hey, girl. Hey. The bun is looking fabulous.
It is. Okay. So I say this to say, do not be afraid to network outside of your reach, right? Because you never know how you are going to need that person and you never know how that person might need you. They might be looking for you. They're sitting right in front of you. And if you don't say something, then that opportunity passes, right? So I'm going to ask this last question of my girl down here. And then I'm going to open it up. I know we got a lot of time for questions because I feel like there's a lot of questions in here. I can feel it in my soul. So I want to, I forgot because I'm listening like you guys are listening. Like I don't have a job to do here. So back to relationships. When we were putting this together, we were talking about, oh, there are so many rooms that people don't know are open and happening at market. There are private dinners. There are, you know, invite only, all these things, right? I want you to talk to this as a designer, because again, there's a lot of designers in the room, but like, how are you getting into these rooms? Like after market is shut down, the showrooms are closed, like things are happening. This is like the golf course this is the furniture golf course. Business happens in and outside of the hours of market. So talk to that before we open it up for questions.
Okay, I can definitely speak to that, and I do not gatekeep. Anyone who knows me knows that my absolute favorite musical is Hamilton. You know, and there's a scene where Hamilton is introduced, and he goes up to Aaron Burr, And he's like, I've admired you. I've loved you. Da, 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 da. And he's just like so excited. And Aaron is like, you need to talk less and you need to just be quiet and be small and just wait your turn. I am Hamilton. I am in the room where I want to be, in the room where it happens, right? I really do. And I know that the way you get in the room where it happens is not to kick the door down. It is to be available, to make the relationships when they don't need you and you don't need them, so that when they do need you, they remember you. That's the goal. I have been to market for years and have always made it a goal to connect with new people and to look people in the eye and to offer them, if you ever need anything, here's my number, call me. And I mean it. And then after a few years, people would then respond to me. Well, then if you need anything, call me. Listen. Cue the music. I'm in a room where it happens, right? So it's really thinking about what a relationship actually is. It's mutually beneficial. And I think that the reason that I have had the fortune of being invited to the aftermarket events and dinners is because I'm just genuinely showing up as myself. I'm not asking for anything at the table. I'm just here to offer. I had dinner with Joe and Carisha. I think this is last market, a couple markets ago. And they were doing their job, which is meeting new people, right? And Joe said, has anybody seen anything at market that like blows their mind? Because we have so much ground to cover as a magazine, we can't be everywhere. Girl was at the table in a room where it happens. Homegirl, me, pulls out my phone with my list. I said, let me tell you the 12 things I saw that were phenomenal at market. Value. I give them value because that's what they were asking for. And I was so happy to do it, right, y'all? I was like, and here's a screenshot, and here's a text, and here's pictures. It helped them. I didn't need or want anything from it. I just wanted to be of service. Fast forward, Carisha and I have seen each other at multiple markets, multiple industry events. When the opportunity came to fill one of the roles for this year's House Beautiful magazine, she was like, hey, girl, hey, I remember you. I have an opportunity. And I don't even think she could finish the sentence, but I was like, yeah, yes, 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 yes. She's like, I need, yes. She's like, you don't want to know what it is? Nope. Yes, I'm in. I don't really care what it is. I'm going to do it, right? And so as you navigate market, remember I told you the most precious research you have is what? Time, right? So if you come to market and you don't intentionally build time to make relationships, you will never be available to be at the room where it happens, right? You will never make the space for the open invitation of somebody who in passing says to you, hey, do you have plans for dinner? Nope, I don't. Even though my plans for dinner were to be in my hotel room at 6 in my pajamas, binge watching the latest Netflix. That was my plan, but I am going to be available. I'm gonna put my clothes on. I'm gonna change out of my tennis shoes into my heels, and I will be at dinner because that is where it happens. So I just want to challenge you, whether your room now becomes meeting other designers at market and just creating a network, or it's going to your favorite vendor and saying, hey, I know you guys have a sales team here. If you have a dinner, I'd love to come and talk off market time to you to learn about you as a person, your family, your hopes, your dreams, aspirations. That's what creates the authentic connection that really becomes the just the little seed that's needed to blossom into something that could be incredible. There it is.
I think the underlying tone for this entire conversation is that there are humans behind the brands. There are humans behind the magazines. Get to know the humans behind that, right? And once you know them, don't be afraid to share your goals with them because you may be adding value to what it is that they have been hired to do, right?
I'm
So-
going to say
go
too, just to piggyback on that, I also, for me, I 100% agree with everything she's saying, 1050%. I will also add that I think closed doors are bullshit. And I really I have not liked the exclusionary way that editorial across all mediums has run, that you had to know someone to get into the room. And we have worked really hard, I think at House Beautiful, and I think a few other brands are doing it as well, to level the playing field so that everybody has access. One of the ways is, we've changed the way we accept submissions at House Beautiful. We now have a portal that anyone can access. You don't have to know the editor to send it to. housebeautiful.com /submissions. Anyone can enter it. Anyone can send your projects there. Just even start there. Like, you don't have to be, it's great to be in the room and it's great to have the conversations, make the connections, but if you don't get into the room, that doesn't mean that there's not a shot, right? Like,
I love
I'm
that.
not throwing away my shot.
No,
Told y'all it's my favorite musical.
I did.
And I'm going to send you the mixtape because there is one.
But it's true. I don't want that to feel like there's an inner circle. I don't like when design feels like that. We're all welcome into the circle. And so I want us to all be able to get into it. And so I do think that there are those closed door conversations that are happening, but that doesn't mean that you're on the outside, that there's access for everyone.
I love that. And I've always been a huge fan of, like, if I have figured something out and I have a shortcut, like, I'm telling you my shortcut. And like the whole gatekeeping, just, it doesn't feel right for me energetically. We actually recently launched this thing called Trade Dialogues, where we basically are just talking to currently our internal like trade community right now, but anybody can join. It's totally free. I literally sit there and I just give you information. I'm like, this is what you do to like save time doing this. This is how you make more money doing this. This is how you save money on consolidations. This is how we can help you if you've, I don't know, forgotten how to like run SketchUp, and we can help you, or whatever it may be. Like, I'm literally just here to be a resource to support every and all interior designers out there. If I have a tip, I'm going to give it to you. Now, I don't know if you want to listen to all of them, but it's free to join. And like, Jackie, who's here, and also Gina here, who runs our trade program, they are just like, anybody can join. It's free to join. Like, come listen. Just come listen if you want to. And you don't have to if you, don't want to, and you don't have to participate, but you can just come listen. I'm an open book.
I didn't know that existed, but I do know about Kathy Quotes. Is that what?
Yeah.
is that-
Quotes is our blog. Sorry, it's a little egregious. It's after my last name.
Yeah, it's
like,
okay.
KUOT, yeah, Quotes. That's our blog where we basically just publish all sorts of educational information on performance fabrics and, how to choose lighting. You guys do not need that. The
No,
consumers use Quotes.
Let me tell you why we do need that, because hearing it from someone else's perspective gives us
Totally. Yeah.
a broader lens to introduce that idea to clients.
That's true.
So we do need you guys. So now that you know, Kathy's team is in the second row right here wearing all black.
All here. Raise your hand
In
if
front
you're part of the KKH team.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, we're
So-
we're rolling
wait a
pretty.
minute.
It's actually just the whole like.
Is everyone here with Kathy? Everyone. Got it. Thank you for bringing
So-
the audience, Kathy.
So wait, I didn't plan this, but let's do this before we open it up for questions really fast, right? So we have e-commerce, design, all of the resources, interior design, powerhouse in just marketing, publishing, marketing, magazine. We got designers, we got trend ambassadors for Maison Objet. We have market authority back here. We have the trade specialists with trade leaders, directors, equal pay, all that. For Kathy's team, please, before you leave here, get to know someone that is. This is turning into church. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say we should have done this on Sunday.
Hug a neighbor. I'm sorry.
We should have really
Get a,
started
I'm
with.
going to challenge everybody to
Look
get
at
a
your neighbor.
context. Yeah. Look at your neighbor and say, your mixtape.
I don't know about you, but I'm glad I came here today. You the I got a hand raised back there.
I can't. Oh my gosh. I'm
Amen.
so sorry. Oh, and then he is going to really like have an attitude with me, but we have mayoral candidate
Ooh, we
for
got-
High Point
Whoa.
back there. Yeah, come on, big stepper. All right, so we're going to open this thing up for questions, right? We have probably no minutes, 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes, but let me say this because you guys are going to start walking out and I'm going to be mad. This is a launch pad for something that we are calling an off-market series to bridge the gap between diverse design community, right? Diverse communities within our industry and business education. So our committee, the best committee, a part of Diversity Advocacy Alliance, right?
Same.
Um,
It's true.
We had this idea that when people are here at market, there is like, we don't know what your priorities are. It may be purchasing furniture, it may be education. If it's not education, you have this really small window to really jump in, figure out it's a lot going on where you want to be. So we thought, why not have education? See, people are leaving. Look at her.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
ma'am, it is okay to leave.
I'm sorry.
I don't want people feeling like they hostage. We
I'm sorry.
just praise the
You
Lord.
are hostages. Yes, do not leave. Sorry. So we were thinking that if people don't have enough time to get their education while they're at market, that we wanted to offer it in off market seasons, right? So it'll be through Zoom or whatever platform we decide to use. We'll use technology. So Kathy will join us. And so this is the launch pad for that. So you have all registered for this. If you have not, there on High Point's website, you can go to Diversity Advocacy Alliance and kind of get on our newsletter or something, get in our contacts, and we will share that information on how you can continue having series like this. You'll see different people, but we are working on all of the topics. And then now I'm going to be quiet so we can open it up for questions, and I'll walk around so y'all can see my pleats. All right.
Yeah, right over there.
Okay, I'm coming. Come on, dress.
Hi, my name's Erica McLean. I am just getting started as an interior designer, making the switch.
Congratulations.
Sorry, making the switch from software design. So thank you.
Hold on. You're not gonna just roll by that because we need software designers in interior design. So make sure you bring those transferable skills into your business.
I'm definitely doing that. That's first of all, I have to say that the Hamilton mixtape is definitely life.
Told you.
But I just wanted to ask, so this is my very first market. Clearly there's a lot of amazing showrooms on various streets and scattered about, but there's also concentrated showrooms in some of the trade centers. What should I best spend my time? Like I have noticed some that are on the street are also in the showrooms, but with limited amount of time, my first time here, will I miss out if I really only spend time in the more aggregated locations?
Is there a specific person you wanted to answer? Or
Anyone, if you have recommendations on how I can best spend my time.
So I don't think that there's any way to fail market. I don't. And I don't want you to have that thought like, oh my gosh, what if I don't do it right? There's no right, perfect way to do it. There's just your way, right? So if you're clear on what your goals are for this market, which if you're new, it's probably just learning more about what's available and making new connections and maybe opening accounts, then I would be really clear on what my preferred aesthetic is, who my clients are, my projects. And then I would just use this as a fact-finding trip. I would definitely tell you without saying any specific brand, although Universal paying bills. Universal's an amazing place to start. They provide lunch. And you're here.
The best lunch.
So do that. But then if you really think about some of the buildings you can get the most bang for your buck, it would be IHSC, which is the main building where the bus drops you off the terminal, and then Show Place, which is across the street. You could probably knock those two out in a day just looking, like taking it all in. And that's going to give you a really good feel for the current trends, the colors, the new introductions. So it's a good way to soak a lot of stuff in if you don't have a whole bunch of time.
And then I'm not sure what day you're leaving, but our Diversity Advocacy Alliance is also doing a master class through Stephanie and Everett right here in the first row on Monday, where if this is your very first market, then you will learn how to buy there. Okay. So get with them. But then I would also advise you to.
You don't have to sign up. You can just come as you are, keeping with the church theme.
Yeah, we are not. And then there are so many other designers in here. Everybody is friendly. Y'all better be friendly. So tell them your aesthetic and they'll point you in the direction of some showrooms for your specific aesthetic.
Hi. Hey, girl. Hi, everyone. My name is Rashida Gray of Grace Beast Interiors, and I have a question for anyone on the panel. I'm curious to get your insights on what you think the biggest challenges are that face our industry today. We just got through the pandemic. You all have various perspectives. I'm very interested in knowing what you think.
I'll start with that. Oh gosh, greatest challenge. Okay. Hi, first of all. It's so good to see you. I actually feel like digital is a blessing and a curse. I think social media, I know we've talked a lot about social media here today. I am worried a little bit that homeowners think they can do more of themselves than they can.
But
I-
there's an opportunity
no,
in that
for
too.
sure. I think that I definitely think that that's what I'm saying. It's a blessing and a curse. I think that it is important for us as the design community, for us as the editorial teams, to be able to express specifically why design matters and what designers bring to the table that people can't do on their own. I think that what a lot of the social media, I mean both TikTok, Reels, Flat Feed, has done is created sort of a gateway drug to make people really want better for themselves, which I think is really important. And I think that was started by the HGTV trend of like introducing design into homes to so many places that design didn't exist before. But I do want to make sure that we are still really clearly communicating the value of a designer. And so that's something that I think a lot about, is making sure that we're not that design is not being diluted by the ease and the speed that people can see on social media.
I love that. I love that. We got a question right here, but you guys make sure you go on Magnolia Network and see Rashida's show.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Because she's really cute. What is it called? A place
In with the old.
in with the olds.
I didn't
That's what
rename
it
the
is.
show. In with
Yeah.
the old.
Nice job on that. My name is Lene Wood. I'm from Austin, Texas. I think, Kathy, this might be a question up your alley. So I really, when you're looking at design, I think unfortunately it does get divided into sort of like the upper, what we call luxury projects. And then you've got kind of the average people who are like, I have some money. I'm not going to spend $15,000 on a sofa, but I got some money to spend on it. So a lot of times I think they fit into a lot of the brands like Universal, Forehand, Caracol. But what I'm finding is that when I source those pieces for them, they just hop online and they're finding those exact same pieces for less than IMAP and for free shipping. And so I'm wondering, especially for you, Kathy, because you're probably dealing with that as well, where it's the same piece. I think you're probably naming it something different, but they're able to find it from, do what? Yeah, they're shopping you, but doing it, they're kind of breaking the rules to do it.
Totally.
What do we
Okay.
do?
So the first thing is we protect our trade accounts like they're our children. Like if we know that you are an account with us and we speak to a consumer who's looking for the same thing, we're like, who's your designer? And we will stop that and we will go back to the designer and we will ensure that that relationship is preserved. So that's absolutely the first thing we do. The second thing is I think there's this, I guess, I'll just say it's educational gap or opportunity that that the only thing that matters on the price when we just sort of look at sort of revenue all the way down to your gross profit or your net revenue line, that the most important piece is actually your COGS line, which is your cost of goods sold. And it's actually not, because you've got to add in your consolidation, your receiver, your maybe your installer, and everybody else in between. So you're basically, there's all these additional costs. And I think what's interesting about the program that we've built, and not to say that like you should do what works best for you in terms of what works for your business model, but what we basically do is if you buy with us through the trade, we actually support you on your consolidations. A little known fact, this is like really, really recent. We actually have Bill, who's our managing director over at Impact. We acquired a 3PL in High Point in August that just closed. I forget the amount of square footage, but it's quite large. It's 4 large warehouses that we basically now, and we do this primarily, we acquired this warehouse primarily because we had our own interior design consolidations that we needed to do. This does not exist in any other industry. Only in our industry do we say we need 80 items held into place, inspected, like, and climate controlled. And please don't kick it down the curb when you please don't dribble it down the driveway. Try to put, I don't know, just like Can you just, take a little care, right?
like you
And only in our
care.
industry do we truly, deeply need this service. So we acquired a 3PL just for this. And so we literally looked at our pricing structure and we're like, how can we be of service from the entire value chain, from the design side if you need help, all the way to the purchasing side so if you're an interior designer, which I know a lot of you guys are, if you came and worked with our trade specialists, here are all the ways in which we help you save time and money. So essentially, you have one person to purchase all 450 brands and plus others that we don't carry, but we can also get you cheap and cheerful too. We just don't carry it currently. One person to help you with all your claims and follow up. All that time that you hire your office admin, or maybe you're doing it 11 o'clock at night where you're like, oh my God, where's my stuff? Where is my stuff? My stuff came damaged. I need a replacement. I need a new screw. Like this doesn't turn on. The lights don't work, etc. All the office admin. Plus, we act as your receiver. Plus, we act as your white glove installer all the way end to end. And so when you look at the cost line, it's sometimes actually, depending on the size of the project, if it's like 50 grand and over, it 100% makes more sense to work with us that offers a full end to end solution. So I will say that the cost of goods sold is not the only cost that matters. It is everything all the way down. Now, if you're doing one or two pieces, go to Arteriors, go to Universal Direct. I don't know what their minimum opening orders are, but like that does make sense. But if you're doing a larger project, you're like, wait, I get like one account manager and she's right here. She's like, Gina is here. And so is Jackie. We have others back at home, but they're literally are like, no, we're like, if you want to call me to ask me what's the best New York pizza to order, they will tell you. They will literally sit on the phone with you and work it out.
Yes. And I think to bring that, make it relevant for a designer who's selling a project, I have learned to say, this is what it costs me to get it to you. And just like she just very quickly articulated what you get, what the value is for what it costs you for that piece, that's what we have to learn how to do. And when we do that, we change the narrative. If a client is only looking at the cost of goods, they're not calling it that, they're looking at the price, right? They're saying that sofa on blah, blah, blah is blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that's nice, but the cost for me to get it to you is this. And with that, you get said account manager, said receiving company, said that I'm doing the same thing on a one-to-one basis. And it costs me money to do that. I am the one saying, please, sir, please don't kick the box down the street. Actually, let me walk behind you to watch you, to make sure you don't kick the box down the street. And if it's open and damaged, I have to make sure I manage that. So what I think you can take away for your question is there's never, ever a fear for me that I'm being shopped, because I'm always able to say to the client, you know what? I presented the concept to you. Most times I'm looking for vendors that let me customize it in ways that you can't buy it. Did y'all see the false flash? Okay. That's our value. And if for some reason I picked a table or case good that I can't customize, but it's the perfect one for that, and you tell me, but I found it, blah, 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 I'm going to say, you are welcome to manage the product. You are girl, do your thing. I hope it's worth the $50.
Also, we will send you tear sheets in which there's no where it comes from. So we don't send links. Like just send them. We'll just send you the tear sheets.
Yeah.
Girl,
Yeah,
people are straight up FBI these days. You know what I'm saying? And so if you don't really, really understand that, you're going to be caught flat-footed. What you need to do is learn how to do what she just did. Tell them your value.
Yeah.
It cost me this to get it to you, and I'm happy. That's what I do. I am happy to provide that service for you.
That's what I was honestly, it connects back to Rashida's question too, right? This is all.
This is one of our problems in the industry right now. Okay, we got two last questions, and I put a bug in everybody's ear to get it with brevity, and this is you guys bugging the ear with give it with get a little brief with it.
Hello, my name is Mimi Fall of Theron Interiors. It's 2 E's and 2 R's. Just didn't spell it right. So to piggyback on that statement, of course, I'm kind of a new designer, so I probably shouldn't be speaking too much, but I would think maybe even your contract should be very clear about what the client can and cannot do. But also, I think for me as a fairly new interior designer, like when do you know if you need a mentor or not? Because I feel like I'm sort of this one little.
You know what? She said brevity. You do.
Okay. Hi.
It's a bunch of mentors in here. I'm gonna point them out to you in a second.
By the way, I'll also say
Wait.
we have our own interior design practice. And so when we send out designs, like our customers will also do the same thing. So we experience the exact same thing you experience. And so we have to basically like explain the entire value chain of what we provide too. So our own interior designers get shopped too. It's like we feel exactly what you're feeling. And so we've built a system to prevent it. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Carissa with Carissa Faith Interiors. This question is for Joe. You had mentioned when you're scouring the Instagram photos, I'm very guilty of not photographing my work. And yeah, it's really bad. But so when, if I were to do so, if I were to do so, what are you looking for? And are you looking for diversity and styles?
So
or are you
funny
looking
that
for
you asked
more
that.
of
I
a
do get
color
asked this a
palette?
lot, and I will answer quickly.
Okay.
I'm looking for a personal expression of you. Honestly, I'm never looking for anything specific. Truthfully, online, we're always looking for good ideas. That is what does well for us on housebeautiful.com. Designers who use ingenious solutions for things. And I don't just mean like Murphy beds. I mean, the family had a specific problem. The family had an issue with this, and the designer used this design expression to solve that issue. Those are the kinds of stories that do really well for us. And when I say do really well, I mean like millions of views. What I'm looking for in print, honestly, when we're pacing our issues, we really use I always use like sort of a fashion magazine mentality. You know how when you look at a fashion magazine, they've got formal wear, then they've got swimwear, then they've got best jeans for your butt. And then they've got oftentimes it starts with one project, and then I'm looking for something that's sort of a counterpoint to that. And then I'm looking for something that's a counterpoint to that. I've got something busy and colorful. And now I need something that's minimalist. Now I need something that's a little bit more rustic. So frankly, if you don't get chosen for an issue, it's not because your work's not worth being published. It's because I need something specific for that slot. So I don't remember who it was, if it was Kathy Ariane, who said, keep trying, keep submitting, keep showing us your stuff, because you really never know, one, when I'm going to need it, and two, tell me the story. I want to know what the whys are. Why did you do this? What did the homeowner need? Help me connect it to my audience, because I'm always looking to connect to the audience. My audience is who I'm thinking about all the time. Oftentimes that audience is you, right? Because you guys want to know the why, right? You don't just want to look at the pretty, you want to know the why. So give me the story, give me the why.
And I'll tell you like a quick little secret real fast. House Beautiful is one of the publications that I've noticed is really good about publishing their media kit. So I can see the themes that they are looking for each year, and then their advertising date that ends.
Yeah. So right. So we'll say outdoor issue. We have the outdoor issue. We've got the shopping issue. We've got color. So we have all of those things too. But digitally, we're also not just looking for full houses. If you have one space that you did something really cool in, or you had one space that has solved a really specific problem, all of those things are things our audience, honestly, sometimes the more granular, the more viral it can go. I mean, you see this on social media too. So we really love to write a story about one really significant thing. We're writing about the marshmallow bed on the third floor. If you haven't seen the marshmallow bed, go check it out.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Okay. So the challenge still stays, even though we're behind time. Meet someone that you do not know in this space. There are a lot of powerhouses in here. David Quarles, Timala, Stephanie, Everett, Lisa. Lisa is Everett's boss. Don't let him tell you otherwise. Patty Carpenter, Carisha. Like there are people, Victoria Sanchez with, y'all talk to Victoria. Where's the person who needs a mentor? She's right here.
There you go.
Yeah, there she
Bam.
is.
Love connection.
David in the background with his glasses and his hair. That's another good mentor. That's a wrap for us. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you.